Okay, cool. Hey guys, what's up? Evilzombie here. I think it's all good. Cool. So, anyways, today I want to show you a cool a remote play kind of online tabletop RPG website. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, like Roll20, Virtual Tabletop. Virtual Tabletop. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. This is a virtual tabletop program. It's like Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds or 3D Virtual Tabletop. This is a virtual tabletop software called Owlbear.rodeo. And it's a website, you don't have to install anything, and it's free. That's like the coolest thing about it is, well, it's free. So that's the cool thing. The only downside really is it requires you to have it store cookies on your machine because that's how it keeps track of what you put in there. So I normally just re-upload things every time I'm doing a new game. I just re-upload small sections like, okay, this is where we are today. So let me show you a little bit about it and just why I like it. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just really like it. It's cool. Okay, so it does Fog of War very well. Yes, Fog of War is basically so that you can, what's it called? Hide different things if you want to. Right now, this is the dungeon we are in right now. If you want to add more stuff, well, let me see if I can, there we go. If you want to add more maps and things like that, you can just go to select map and then you can upload new ones here from your pictures and stuff. Select just a basic battle grid if you want. You can categorize them with a section that will appear here on the bottom. You'll be able to, or I guess you can click on them. There you go. And then you can do grouping, so you can group different categories together, make it easier for yourself. You can load up maps, and then that would switch it out for that. If you wanted to do minis, they have several minis that are already installed. I put just a couple of them in there this week for our previous session, but they have several different minis just so you kind of have a decent variety. Like, I wanted a skeleton, so I just had a guy with the mask, and I just used that. Or if you have a goblin, they have goblins. They didn't really have a treasure one. I guess the bag counts as treasure, whatever, right? And there's a dragon wing if you want a dragon. There's a lot of different things. Whatever this thing is, eyeball. There's a lot of fun little things. Each of these counts as like a character, so there's like a barbarian or a bard, things like that. Anyways, that's kind of, they just have their own little preset ones. You can add it with the plus sign at the bottom. You can kind of add your own. Same way, you can categorize it. You can search by name if you want. It's pretty handy. And there are lots and lots of tools. Okay, first off, you can change your name with that button down here with the, what's it called? The little pencil. And the little person next to it is how you get your name. I'm, of course, going to change this, and it's going to be a new one. I'll just re-upload it because this is just after our last session, and they're done with a lot of this area. So I'm probably going to load in a new area and fix that up by the time you see this. Well, let's see. You can do audio. You can share sounds if you want to have music play on your computer for this area. You can have that share with them, so that's pretty handy. And I think this is an hourglass. Yeah, you can start timers so they can kind of be on the move. They have to kind of rush things. It's handy. You can place different objects down however you like. You can zoom in with the mouse wheel, like they were in this room. One of their dwarf friends is over here, and he kind of looks like a dwarf, even though he's a frost giant. Oh yeah, and the object will appear a lot larger at first, like boom, frost giant. So I just put them down to their size. When you click on them, you can label them, and then you can change the color of them if you want to, and you can change the size. You can rotate them. You can do a lot of little things. You can hide them. Like, I could very well just hide different things in the environment and they won't know about it. It's pretty handy. Like over here is a couple of goblins. They're sitting around a fire when they walk by them because there's a bit of a treasure right here. They'll be ambushed by that. Here's some player characters. You can put labels on them. Like I said, you put the label here and it shows up under their name. That's a pretty cool little feature. I have 4 monsters over here. If I didn't want them to see them, even, like maybe if they're going to drop down from the ceiling after they enter the room, but they can see into it, I can just click on each of them, click on the little eyeball, and even if I undo this, my players won't be able to see them. That's pretty cool. One of my favorite things is the dice tray. I like the dice tray. Look at that. And every time you add the dice with that, and then you roll them down here if you want to do new rolls. Or say you have an enemy that has 6d6 damage. Blah, 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 14. Blah, 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 29. And it adds it all up for you, and it shows you what each roll was. It's a pretty handy little tool. I don't want that color dice. Can I change what me dice look like? Yes, I can. I like the wood dice because wood dice are awesome. Boom. There, I have a few of those, and they roll. I like it. There, at least I have a nat 20 because they all rolled. Ignore the one. Ignore the nat one. It doesn't happen. But you can share the dice rolls if you want, so your players can see your DM dice rolls. You can have them click it so that you can see their rolls if you want, or you can hide it. Doesn't matter. It's just up to you and how you want to play your game. I did not realize I can expand the dice tray. That's handy. I like that. I love the way that it looks like a wooden dice tray too. It's pretty cool. Okay, over here. The first tool is the grab tool. That lets you move things around. Lets you drag it around. The next one is the fog tool. Like, I'll just do it over here. Like, say, they could see a little bit more. There, boom, that area is now visible. They can see that much more. Ah, no, not that. Or whatever I drag on that. I wonder if I click it with my right. Nope, that's not it. It's up here, the controls for it. I have, let's see, the scissors set for it, I think. There we go. I can create fog? How do I create the fog? I can't remember. Ah, toggle fog. That's not what I meant to do at all. There we go. This is the one. The eraser, I think. Okay. Now, what did I just do? Oh, I erased the map. Because I'm a bonehead. There. I'll figure that out again in a second. Yeah. So I add the fog with this. It's not that. There. And I can add the fog. One second. Let me look at this again. Okay, so I was doing it right. You have a fog preview here also. The eyeball, you can see what they see. This is what your players will see. You cannot drag unless you go back to this tool. So this is what my players would see. They are up here right now, so this is what they would be looking at. Just that area. So I would go back to the fog tool. I was doing it right. I'll turn off my preview. There. Let me go back over here. See how the area is like that now? So the fog tool, it just shows you the areas you've modified. So this one is just a toggle. I click in there and it sets out that area. So you can preset rooms to be available. What I just did is not the correct thing to do. What I was trying to do was this. Oh, no. Sorry, cut. There's a lot of little tools. But they're all worth it. There. And then if I wanted to block that out, I can toggle fog in that room. That's pretty cool. So there's several things you can play with it with. And if they go back and go into that room, they just kept on saying, I turned left. Okay, that served us right last time. I turned left. So we just rolled with it. Alright, next one. You can draw on the screen in different ways. I can just say, boom, and I can draw on the screen with a paint tool if I need to, with a roller if I need to. What is this one? Oh yeah, straight lines. So you can be like, okay, you can see him using your line of sight. Boom. Okay, I'm hiding those. I don't like them. You can change the color of your lines if you want. You can change the shape, so boom. Yeah, you can also have an eraser if you really want to. If you want to erase your lines. I don't think that erases Fog of War. No, it does not. It does... No, it doesn't. Doesn't do anything to those. You're good. Okay, but that's what those do. That's just drawing on the screen, being like, okay, there was a fire here, the blast was here, blah, blah, blah. There's a measurement tool, which is pretty handy. Like if you want to say, okay, you are 35 feet away from your buddy over there. 35 feet. That's pretty handy. That's a pretty cool little tool. And that's all it does. Like, say my square is a 5-foot square. From here to here. Wait, yeah, it's a 5 foot. So you get a decent measurement, and you have a decent range of how far everything is from each other. And I like that. That's a pretty nifty thing. You can be like, oh, it's a 10-foot doorway. Boom. That's a cool little tool I use and I like it. There's a pointer tool where I can just be like, okay, see this little laser pointer, guys? This is the area you're looking at, blah, blah, blah. The blast goes over here. An arrow swishes by. Things like that. Laser pointer. You can change the color of your laser pointer, of course, but red is the best. Otherwise, you're wrong. Moving on, there's a note tool, so you can kind of just jot notes down if you really want to, and you can type in whatever the note is. Note. And there's your note. And you don't have to keep the note there if you don't want to. You can throw the note away down there. If you add a character, you don't have to keep them. Oh, that's not that. I added a character. I'm going to go to the hand, because that's how you do everything. You move it with the hand. Anyways, that's all the tools there are. It's a simple program. It's just really well done. And I enjoy everything about it. So, I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys and see what you like about it. If you enjoy it, just remember either keep your browser open or enable cookies to be saved on your machine. So, those are your basic choices. Or just re-upload things. It's not that hard. It's actually pretty easy. It's called Owlbear.rodeo. It is free and I enjoy it. So, link in the description below. Okay, bye.